You keep wondering why you feel stuck, why the breakthrough never comes, why your peace keeps disappearing, and why you're exhausted trying to fix people who were never your assignment. What if I told you the power you're looking for is buried in the place you've been avoiding, yourself? Distraction is the enemy of destiny. That one truth, if internalized, will change your entire trajectory. It's not failure that kills most dreams. It's not lack of talent, opportunity, or connections. It's the subtle, creeping pull of distraction, the endless detours that look like movement, feel like progress, sound like purpose, but in reality are just noise. You were created with a destiny, not a vague, fuzzy idea of potential, but a specific calling. A divine assignment that only you can fulfill. And yet, the modern world has trained us to trade that sacred purpose for busyness, comparison, and consumption. We don't lose our purpose in one dramatic moment. We lose it one scroll at a time, one conversation too long, one yes we didn't mean, 1 hour wasted on something that has nothing to do with our calling. That's how distraction works. It doesn't shout, it seduces. The enemy doesn't have to destroy you if he can distract you. He doesn't need to attack your purpose if he can just keep you so busy responding to everything and everyone else that you never build what you were born to build. We often think destruction looks like chaos, but sometimes destruction is just misplaced attention, a good heart focused in the wrong direction, a powerful soul chasing what doesn't matter. You were not born to live on repeat. You weren't designed to survive the same year over and over again. You were created to move forward, to grow, to evolve, to expand. But that requires focus. Destiny demands attention. It doesn't chase you down. You must pursue it. And you cannot pursue something while being pulled in 10 different directions. Every time you split your focus, you divide your results. Every time you entertain distractions, you delay your development. Let's talk real. Some of the things distracting you right now aren't even evil. They're just not aligned. Good things can still be wrong for you. Some relationships are distractions. Some conversations are distractions. Some opportunities are distractions. If it doesn't move you closer to who you're becoming, then it's pulling you further from it. Period. You can't say yes to everything and still be committed to purpose. Saying yes to your destiny will require saying no to comfort, to popularity, and to distractions dressed as blessings. Look around your life. What's consuming your attention? What's draining your energy without replenishing your purpose? Where is your focus going? Because your focus is your power. And if the enemy can hijack your focus, he can delay your future. It doesn't matter how anointed, gifted, or passionate you are. If your attention is scattered, your power is diluted. A laser and a flashlight both use light, but one can cut through steel, the other barely lights up a room. The difference, focus. You can't afford to keep leaking your life, force on things that don't matter. You can't keep watering dead soil and calling it loyalty. Some of the things you're attached to are costing you more than you realize. You're not tired because you're doing too much. You're tired because you're doing too much of the wrong thing. It's not the weight of the work, it's the weight of distraction. You were never meant to be accessible to everything and everyone at all times. Your attention is sacred. Your time is limited. Your energy is valuable. And when you spend those things freely on things that don't bear fruit, you end up bankrupt in the areas that actually matter. Destiny requires discipline, and discipline is the art of removing the unnecessary. It's not just about what you do, it's about what you don't do, who you don't answer, what you don't consume, where you don't go. Not everything deserves your presence. Not every battle deserves your energy. Not every opinion deserves your response. When you begin to value your destiny, you'll stop entertaining distractions disguised as demands. We live in a culture addicted to the urgent, but disconnected from the important. You respond to texts, scroll for hours, binge noise, engage in drama, and then wonder why you feel empty. It's because destiny doesn't scream, purpose doesn't beg, vision doesn't compete for attention. They sit quietly, waiting for you to turn down the volume of the world and tune into what's eternal. You will not drift into greatness. You will not stumble into purpose. You must be intentional, and that means you must be focused. Ruthlessly, unapologetically, consistently, you can't afford to keep losing years to things that don't even matter 90 days later. You've given enough time to distractions. It's time to get serious about your future. Every time you silence a distraction, you amplify your direction. Every time you say no to what doesn't serve you, you say yes to the version of you that wins. Every time you reclaim your attention, you reclaim your power. Focus is not a feeling, it's a decision, a daily choice to protect your time, guard your mind, and commit to your calling, because your destiny is too important to be delayed by distraction. Your future depends on your focus. The version of you that walks in power, clarity, peace, and purpose. That version is waiting on the other side of your discipline, and the moment you get laser, focused on who you're becoming, everything that's not aligned will start to fall away. That's not loss. That's liberation. They told you that focusing on yourself was selfish, that taking time to heal, to grow, to build your vision, to protect your energy, was somehow an act of arrogance. But let me tell you something they never did. Self-focus is not selfish. It's sacred. It's divine alignment. It's obedience to the assignment God gave you before anyone ever had an opinion about you. The very first responsibility you were given was to be a steward of yourself, your mind, your soul, your body, your gifts. You can't love others from an empty core. You can't lead others when you're lost in yourself. You can't pour out peace when you're overflowing with chaos. Yet how often do we try? How often do we abandon ourselves in the name of being there for everyone else? How often do we betray our own boundaries, deny our own needs, and silence our own voice just to be accepted, just to be approved, just to be nice? You weren't born to be a background character in your own life. You weren't created to be an afterthought to your own calling. You matter, and when you focus on yourself, when you say, I need time to think, I need space to grow, I need room to heal, you're not being selfish. You're being wise. You are the root system of your own reality. If the root is weak, the fruit will be fake. And no matter how much you perform for the world, no matter how many people applaud, if you've abandoned yourself behind the scenes, it will catch up with you. You'll feel it in the quiet. You'll feel it in the fatigue. You'll feel it in the resentment that builds when you've given everything and received nothing in return. Self-focus is how you reclaim your identity, because the world will try to name you, claim you, shape you, and drain you. But when you get alone with God, when you get still with your own soul, you begin to remember. You were never called to be everything to everyone. You were called to become who you were created to be, and that requires intentionality, that requires solitude, that requires looking inward. You can't fix what you won't face, and so many people live their entire lives avoiding their own reflection. They stay busy so they don't have to be honest. They stay surrounded so they don't have to be still. But breakthrough doesn't come through busyness. It comes through presence. It comes when you get quiet enough to hear what your soul has been trying to say all along. You need you. Not the fake version, not the one that performs, not the one that people pleases, the real, raw, unfiltered, healing, evolving you. You are not wrong for choosing to grow. You are not wrong for choosing to rest. You are not wrong for choosing to protect your peace. Say no, leave the room, end the relationship, guard your schedule, or take your time. That's not selfish. That's sacred. You're not here to be the answer for everyone else. You are here to walk in your own assignment. You're not here to carry what's not yours. You're here to carry what's inside you. And that means you must invest in your own becoming. That means you must stop abandoning yourself to rescue people who don't even want to be saved. You teach the world how to treat you by how you treat yourself. If you don't honor your own boundaries, don't expect others to. If you don't believe in your own value, don't expect others to. People don't set your worth. You do. God already defined it, but you either live aligned with it or you live beneath it. And living beneath your worth isn't humility. It's disobedience. Self-focus is preparation. It's where you sharpen your mind, renew your spirit, discipline your habits, and reset your priorities. It's where you stop chasing applause and start building alignment. You don't become powerful by being popular. You become powerful by being focused. And that means sometimes you have to disappear. Sometimes you have to pull back. Sometimes you have to say, I love you, but I need to focus on me right now. And when you do, everything changes. You stop being reactive. You stop feeling drained. You stop seeking validation in all the wrong places. You begin to move differently. You speak differently. You think differently because you're no longer operating from emptiness. You're operating from overflow. The truth is, you've given enough. You've explained yourself enough. You've overextended enough. Now it's time to build. Now it's time to focus. Now it's time to grow. You're not going to miss what's for you, but you will miss what's in you if you never make the space to meet yourself. This is your permission to turn inward, to prioritize healing, to honor your limits, to elevate your standards, to protect your time, to focus on your calling. Because when you do, you don't just help yourself, you multiply your impact. You create overflow. You become so rooted in who you are that nothing external can shake you. So let them call it selfish. Let them misunderstand. You don't owe anyone access to a version of you that's still under construction. You owe yourself the space to grow into the person you were always meant to be. That's not selfish. That's sacred. Your energy is currency. Stop giving it away for free. Every time you say yes to something that drains you, every time you engage in a conversation that pulls you out of alignment, every time you show up for something that doesn't serve your purpose, you are making an emotional withdrawal. And eventually you go bankrupt, not in your bank account, but in your soul. You weren't created to be accessible to everything and everyone at all times. There's a reason you feel exhausted. There's a reason you feel scattered, foggy, irritated, or numb. It's not always because you're doing too much. It's often because you're giving too much of you to what doesn't feed you. Your energy is being leaked through open doors that were never meant to be unlocked. Let's be honest. How many times have you felt obligated to answer a call you didn't have the capacity for? How many times have you scrolled past your own boundaries just to keep up with the noise of the world? You've been generous with your presence in places that have no respect for your peace. And the price, your focus, your rest, your creativity, your clarity, that's what it costs when you keep giving your energy away with no return. You have to start treating your energy like it matters, because it does. If someone asked you to write a check every time they needed your help, your time, your input, your comfort, would you just hand it over without hesitation? Would you keep giving even when you saw they never deposited anything back? No, Then why do you keep doing that with your presence, your emotions, your mental space? Energy is not infinite. You only get so much in a day. And if you spend it all on draining conversations, performative relationships, chasing validation, and micromanaging everyone else's crisis, you will have nothing left for your assignment. The enemy of your purpose isn't always sin or sabotage. It's scattered focus. It's emotional fatigue. It's the weight of being everything to everyone and nothing to yourself. It's time to recognize that your peace is expensive. It's time to acknowledge that your presence is valuable. You're not ordinary. You're carrying purpose. You're carrying wisdom. You're carrying light. And every time you show up, something shifts. That's why some people keep pulling on you. Not because they honor you, but because they feed off of you. And if you're not careful, you'll keep giving access to people who have no intention of pouring back into your life. You have to stop explaining your boundaries to people who benefit from you having none. Some people will call you distant when you start protecting your peace. They'll call you selfish when you stop sacrificing your joy. They'll say you've changed when you stop showing up to be their emotional crutch. Let them talk. Growth always looks like rebellion to those who preferred your dysfunction. You don't owe anyone unlimited access to your spirit. You don't owe explanations for choosing rest. You don't owe your future to people who only respect your past. What you do owe is obedience to your calling. What you do owe is intentionality with your time. What you do owe is alignment with the vision God placed inside of you. And that means preserving your energy like the sacred resource it is. Look at where your energy has been going. Who or what has the most of your attention right now? Is it helping you build the life you're called to live? Is it sharpening you, stretching you, inspiring you? Or is it draining you, delaying you, distracting you? You can't afford to keep investing your vitality into things that don't produce fruit. It's not about cutting everyone off. It's about knowing who gets what part of you. It's about understanding that you are not a public utility. You are not emotionally on call 24/7. You are not the emergency contact for every crisis in every life. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to recharge. You are allowed to say, not today. I'm protecting my peace. You can't expect overflow from a life of overcommitment. You can't expect clarity from a heart full of clutter. You can't expect breakthrough when all your energy is tied up in battles you were never meant to fight. Reclaim your energy. Be unapologetic about your limits. They are not signs of weakness. They are signs of wisdom. When you begin to protect your energy, you'll notice everything shifts. Your discernment sharpens. Your peace deepens. Your time expands. Your vision clears. Because you are no longer leaking your power. You are no longer investing in what depletes you. You are stewarding your spirit with honor. So here's the truth. Not everyone deserves access. Not every request deserves a yes. Not every situation needs your input. Protect your energy like your future depends on it, because it does. Every moment you reclaim is a deposit into your destiny. Every boundary you enforce is a step toward your becoming. Every time you say, I choose me, you honor the calling you carry. Your energy is currency. Spend it wisely. Invest it where it multiplies, and stop giving it away for free. Isolation is a strategy, not a sentence. It's not a punishment, it's a process. It's not rejection, it's redirection. It's the quiet place where transformation begins. But because we've been conditioned to associate silence with abandonment and stillness with stagnation, we resist the very environment that's designed to elevate us. Sometimes God pulls you away, not because He's done with you, but because He's just getting started. He's pulling you out of the crowd so He can remind you of who you are without the noise. He's removing the distractions so you can finally hear your own voice again. He's taking you offline so he can upgrade your internal software, your mindset, your discipline, your vision. You think you're being forgotten, but what's actually happening is formation. Because what's done in isolation sets the tone for what will be revealed in elevation. You can't lead in public what you haven't mastered in private. You can't carry a calling if you've never learned how to carry stillness. And sometimes the only way to sharpen your discernment, to refine your assignment, and to strengthen your spirit is to be pulled into a place where you have nothing but God, silence, and time. We often cry out for clarity, but then run from the environment where clarity is found. You won't get clear surrounded by chaos. You won't hear truth with 10 other voices in your ear. You won't build power when you're constantly distracted by who's doing what, who said what, who left, and who stayed. Isolation is not the enemy. It's the incubator. That's where identity is rebuilt. That's where vision is restored. That's where emotional weight is released and spiritual muscle is developed. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's quiet. Yes, it feels like nobody sees you, but it's in that space where you feel invisible that God is doing the most visible work on your behalf. He's stripping away attachments that couldn't go with you. He's untangling your heart from what once defined you. He's breaking the addiction to applause, comparison, and validation, because destiny requires depth, and depth is forged in private. While others are outperforming, impressing, and chasing attention, you're in the shadows building foundation. You're healing what used to trigger you. You're unlearning the lies you once called truth. You're rewiring your mind for what's next. It may not be flashy. It may not be fun, but it's necessary. Don't confuse isolation with punishment. Sometimes the silence is protection. God will hide you so you don't sabotage what He's developing. He'll shield you from connections that would have contaminated your path. He'll block opportunities that would have looked like promotion but led to destruction. Because He sees the full picture, and He loves you enough to preserve your purpose, even if it costs you some comfort. People may call it distancing. They may say you've changed, and you have. Growth requires change. And the people who only liked you when you were accessible, predictable, and constantly available, they're not assigned to your future. Because where you're going, you don't need codependency. You need clarity. You don't need distractions. You need discipline. And sometimes that requires walking alone. You will not miss what's meant for you by taking time to get aligned. You won't lose opportunities by choosing to heal. You won't fall behind by choosing to rest and reset. This world will pressure you to always be on, always be busy, always be proving something. But isolation says, I don't have to be seen to be significant. I don't have to post every move. I don't have to explain every decision. I don't have to be understood to be obedient. Your power is not in your popularity. It's in your preparation. It's in those quiet mornings when no one sees you praying, but heaven is watching. It's in the journal entries, the discipline, the tears, the breakthroughs that happen when no one is clapping. That's where legacy is born. That's where character is formed. That's where purpose becomes unstoppable. When you stop fearing isolation, you begin to embrace elevation. Because you understand that God doesn't build greatness in the spotlight. He builds it in the secret place. And when you emerge, you don't come out looking for validation. You come out rooted, grounded, focused, unshakable. Some of the most powerful shifts in your life will come when it's just you, your calling, and your commitment. That's the version of you that doesn't need noise to feel important. That's the version that knows their value isn't found in crowds, applause, or titles. That version walks in peace. That version walks in purpose. That version walks in power. So, if you're in a season where it feels like everything is quiet, where people have fallen off, where plans didn't work, where doors are closed. Don't panic. Don't question your worth. Don't run back to chaos just to feel something. Sit with it, lean in, let the silence speak, let the stillness refine, let the alone time rebuild the parts of you that the noise of life had eroded. Isolation is not a sentence, it's a strategy. And when you embrace it, you realize it's not pushing you away from purpose, it's pulling you deeper into it. You are the first business you must manage. Before the brand, before the followers, before the income streams, before the meetings, systems, or strategies, you are the enterprise. Your mindset is your headquarters. Your habits are your operations. Your character is your company culture. And your decisions, those are your daily transactions. If you're mismanaging yourself, don't be surprised when everything you try to build outside of you begins to collapse. People want success, but they overlook the structure. They chase visibility, but ignore responsibility. You can't run a Fortune 500 life with a disorganized internal system. If your thoughts are undisciplined, your emotions unstable, your schedule chaotic, and your priorities misaligned, it doesn't matter how good the opportunity is. It won't last. You don't rise to the level of your goal. You fall to the level of your systems, and the first system you must master is you. You are not just a person. You are a steward of potential. You are a vessel for purpose. That means how you handle yourself. Your energy, your time, your words, your habits is either an investment or a liability. When you wake up, are you operating with intentionality, or are you reacting to life as it comes? When pressure hits, do you respond from discipline or emotion? When opportunity knocks, are you prepared or are you panicked? It's easy to say, I want more, but more requires management. If you can't manage your current self, you're not ready for the next level of promotion. God doesn't bless potential alone. He blesses preparation. And preparation begins with self-governance. Can you trust yourself to do what you said you'd do when no one is watching? Can you delay gratification? Can you set a standard and hold to it? That's leadership. That's mastery. That's what separates builders from dreamers. You are the CEO of your life. What kind of company are you running? Are you underperforming in your own calling while overperforming in everyone else's drama? Are you spending your days managing other people's emotions while neglecting your own mental wellness? Are you saying yes to what drains you and no to what grows you? That's poor management. A good business knows where its time and money go. Likewise, you need to know where your energy and focus go. Are your habits creating wealth or wasting it? Are your relationships producing value or depleting it? Are your thoughts building belief or reinforcing fear? Everything you entertain either adds to your mission or subtracts from it. You must learn to audit your inputs like a company audits its finances. No wise business allows unlimited withdrawals with no return. Why do you? Managing yourself means understanding your limits and learning how to optimize them. It's knowing what fuels you and what drains you. It's being honest about what needs to change and not waiting for permission to change it. You don't need a miracle. You need a management plan. You need to stop waiting on motivation and start building momentum through consistency. That's how growth happens, not in spurts of hype, but in patterns of discipline. Structure isn't suffocation, it's strategy. Boundaries aren't barriers, they're blueprints. If you want freedom, you need order. If you want overflow, you need clarity. If you want to scale anything in life, business, impact, income, it starts by scaling you. Your routines, your perspective, your spiritual alignment. Without internal excellence, external success becomes temporary noise. You can't outsource personal responsibility. You can't hire someone to do your healing. You can't delegate discipline. You can't automate integrity. That part is on you. And until you take radical ownership over your life, you'll always feel like a victim to your circumstances. But the moment you say, "This is my business, and I will run it with excellence," everything changes. Stop managing your life like it's optional. You are the asset. You are the brand. You are the investor and the investment. Treat yourself accordingly. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission to rise. You already have the authority. Now build the infrastructure to sustain the weight of what you've been called to carry. Great businesses track performance. So should you. Reflect on your wins. Analyze your losses. Ask the hard questions. What did you waste time on this week? Where did your energy go? What mindset did you carry into that conversation? Was it rooted in truth or insecurity? Every day is a report. And every week is a review. Don't wait until life falls apart to do an audit. Make reflection your rhythm. That's how leaders operate. Managing yourself also means investing in yourself. No business grows without development. So take the course, read the book, go to therapy, get the rest, create the routine, do the spiritual work, upgrade your thinking. People who want to grow pour into themselves. People who want to stay the same make excuses. Choose wisely. You're not running a side hustle. You're not running a hobby. You're running a life. And your life has the power to shift generations. But only if you manage it like it matters. The world doesn't need another chaotic genius. The world needs disciplined greatness, focused brilliance, intentional leadership, the kind that starts from within and overflows outward. You are the first business you must manage, and when you run you well, everything else starts to multiply. Because the blessing flows where there's order, the opportunities come where there's readiness, and the favor rests where there's faithfulness. So manage yourself like you matter. Because you do what you water grows, so water yourself. We spend so much time tending to everyone else's garden, making sure their needs are met, their dreams supported, their voices heard. We pour and pour until our own soil is dry, cracked, and barren. Then we wonder why we feel empty. We wonder why joy is rare and peace is fleeting. It's not because you lack purpose, it's because you've been planting in everyone else's life and never tending to your own. Everything you focus on expands. Whatever you nurture will grow stronger. The problem is, too many people are watering relationships that aren't growing, conversations that aren't evolving, commitments that are draining, and environments that are toxic. You can't keep feeding dysfunction and expecting peace. You can't keep giving your energy to things that leave you empty and call it love, loyalty, or service. That's not growth. That's neglecting yourself while pretending it's selflessness. You are soil. Sacred, valuable soil, and like any rich soil, you require nourishment, protection, and rest. You require time in the sun and time in the quiet. You need boundaries around you to protect what's being cultivated inside you. Because if you don't water yourself, your mind, your spirit, your health, your dreams, you'll start to wilt. You'll still look alive to the world, but internally, you'll be dry and depleted. It's not pride to care for yourself, it's wisdom. You don't have to wait until you crash to take a break. You don't have to wait until your body breaks down to finally rest. You don't have to wait until your spirit is burned out to seek God in silence. Watering yourself is not an afterthought. It's foundational. And yet we live in a world that celebrates output and ignores burnout. A world that applauds sacrifice, but punishes self-awareness. A world that confuses always being busy with being productive. But here's the truth. If you don't pour into yourself, your fruit will eventually rot. You can only go so long running on empty before what you give others begins to lose its quality. Your tone changes. Your joy fades. Your creativity dries up. Your ability to love without resentment disappears. And it all starts because you forgot to water the one person responsible for it all, you. Watering yourself looks like setting boundaries without guilt. It looks like getting quiet so your mind can rest. It looks like refusing to engage in every fight just because someone invited you to it. It looks like turning your phone off, turning your heart back to God, and turning your focus inward. Not to isolate, not to withdraw from life, but to remember, you are not just a source for others. You are a soul who needs tending. When you finally start watering yourself, things begin to shift. Your confidence grows because you're no longer waiting for others to validate you. Your discernment sharpens because you've made space to listen. Your peace deepens because you've let go of the noise that used to pull you in every direction. You become more powerful not by becoming louder, but by becoming more aligned. And the people around you, they begin to adjust too. Some will respect your new boundaries, others will resist. Some will applaud your healing, others will accuse you of changing, but you are changing. You're becoming rooted, you're becoming aware, you're becoming whole, and not everyone is equipped to handle a version of you that no longer needs rescuing, fixing, or pleasing. Watering yourself is an act of resistance in a world that wants you distracted. It's a declaration that you believe your life has value outside of what you produce for others. It's saying, I matter too, not in arrogance, not in ego, but in divine alignment. You were never created to only give. You were created to grow, and growth requires care. So take care of your garden, pull the weeds, prune the distractions, turn your face toward the sun, nourish your roots, speak life over your future. Rest when you need to, dream without fear, guard your energy, prioritize your healing, and keep watering the vision even when no one else sees it, because what you water grows. And if you water yourself with love, truth, discipline, faith, and focus, watch how everything around you begins to blossom. The truth is, you've already been watering something. Every day, your thoughts are watering either fear or faith. Your time is watering either chaos or clarity. Your energy is watering either performance or purpose. And your words, they're watering either life or limitation. The question is no longer, are you watering something? The question is, what are you watering? And is it aligned with the future you're building? Don't wait for others to see your worth before you start tending to it. Don't wait for life to slow down before you prioritize your soul. You are responsible for what grows within you. And when you start treating your inner life like sacred ground, everything changes. So stop waiting for permission. Start watering yourself now, not tomorrow, not when things calm down, not when others approve. Right now, because the best investment you will ever make is in the becoming of the person God designed you to be. And that becoming starts the moment you decide to stop pouring endlessly into others. And finally, choose to water you. It's time to stop playing small to keep others comfortable. It's time to stop dimming your light for people who wouldn't light a match for you. It's time to focus, because when you do, you become unstoppable.